All right. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, again. So let's finish our discussion on similarity with SSS, SAS, and AA. All right. So on the back of your worksheet, you should have the next triangles we're going to work with is number 3. So I want you to label this is 6, this is 8, this is 10, this is 22, this is 12, and this is 16. All right. So again, whatever you choose to do now, Ms. Littleton suggested you can choose to use different shapes for the different size, like small. She said like maybe do a circle for the small size, or rectangle for the middle size, and double lines for the large size. So that's fine, whatever you want to do, but basically just keep track of what you're using. So let's start with the small. So the small ones, we're going to do circles. So we'll say 6 in the first triangle, small, and 12 in the second triangle, small. So we'll say 6 over 12 over 12. Sorry. Hold on a second. So we can draw it a little better. Over 12. And then if we put that in lowest terms, we should get 1/2. All right. And then we're going to do with our middle. So we'll do a box for our middle. So 8 and 16. So again, 8 over 16. Again, we're going to say 1/2. Lastly, that leaves us, I'm going to do double lines for big, so 10 and 22. So we do 10 and 22. Well, if you put 10 over 22 in lowest terms, it's actually going to be 5 over 11. Well, the problem with that is that remember, in order for it to be side, 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 all 3 fractions have to be the same. So since all 3 fractions are not the same, we're going to say not similar. Now, I know I wrote not similar in words on the first one, but you can also, I also want to show you this other way to say it. So not similar. And do not think that on the test we won't have a similar problem like that. All right. Let's move on to number 4. All right, number 4, I'm going to have to tell you some things. First, I'm going to have to tell you that we're going to do... First, I got to tell you that, actually, I really don't need to tell you anything. Actually, the first thing is we're going to say reflexive. Because you notice the big triangle here shares W, and the small triangle here shares W. So we know that's reflexive. So we're going to say reflexive. All right. So that's the first thing we're going to say. And because these are parallel lines, we know that for corresponding angles, we would say this is congruent to this, and this is congruent to this. Now, we don't really need all 3 sets, so I'm actually going to erase the second set. So now we have the angle W, and we have angle P and angle Z, so then we would say A, similarity. Okay. Now you could have chosen to do W and Y. I mean X and Y instead of P and Z, and you would have been accurate as well, and still had AA. But for AA, all you need is 2 angles. Have 2 A's, 2 angles. Therefore, your problem solved. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is angle 5. Number 5. I'm sorry. All right. So here we want to talk about now the triangles are right by each other. So normally we hadn't done one exactly like this, but that's why we're doing it now. All right, if you see that if you have this right angle here, you also have a right angle here, right? So if one side is a right angle, then it's also a right angle. So far we have 2 congruent angles. All right. Then I have to tell you that, let's say that this angle here is, this side is, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. This side is, let's go with, sorry, I'm having a momentary lapse. All right, let's say that this side is 12, and this side is 6, and this side is 5, and this side is 10. So again, we're going to compare. So we already have our angles. So now let's take our small angles. So our 2 small ones are 5 and 10. So 5 over 10, again, that's a fraction. That simplifies to 1/2. And then we'll do a box for our 12 and 6 and get 6 over 12, again 1/2. So now we have 2 sides, so we have side, angle, side, and we're going to say side, angle, side, similarity. All right? So now what I want you to do is I want you to try on your own number 6, and then let me label it for you. All right, so we know this is 8, this is 18. Here, this is 27, and this is 12. And for 7, it's going to be 98 here, 55 here, and these are degrees. All right, sorry. This is all, and this is also 98, and this angle is 27. All right, so I want you to, I'll give you a few minutes, pause the video, and work this on your own, or you could cheat and just watch me work it out, but I would like for you to try it on your own. If I was in class, you would try it on your own. All right? Hopefully you worked out 6 and 7 on your own, but if you did not, this is what you should have gotten. All right? So for 6, we have the 2 90-degree angles, so we already have our angle, so put an A there. All right? So now let's do like we did on number 5. Let's compare our sides. So again, we're going to do small over small, so 8 over 12. All right? Well, the greatest common factor between 8 and 12 is 4, so 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. All right? And then we're going to say 18 and 27. So again, 18, 27. The greatest common factor here is 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2, and 27 divided by 9 is 3. So these check out. So we're going to say side, angle, side, similarity. All right? Now here with our angles, you want to see, now you got 2 98s, so you already got one angle. So now, but in the small triangle, we have 55 degrees, and the big triangle, we have 27. So now what we want to do is see if in the small triangle, the other angle is 27, or in the big triangle is 55. Let's just take the big triangle. So we'll say 98 plus 27. All right, that's going to be 15. That's going to be 125. We'll subtract that from 180, and we should get 55. So since this angle is now 55 degrees, we now have a similarity. We have this angle here and this angle here, and I'll do a wavy line here for that. So now we would say a similarity. All right? So hopefully you guys found it helpful. Like I said, feel free to rewind the video and review anything you need to review. Now at this time, I want you to work on the Google form I left for you. Make sure you complete it. It is for completion, so please complete it, and then the right answers are highlighted once you turn it in. Now, you only have one attempt, and this is for a grade. And I will see you when I return to class tomorrow. Have a nice day.